Here we go. I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day, and we're back for another live stream today, August 19th, on a Tuesday, and the market is doing nothing but just crickets, 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 crickets. The market is not going our way right now. Bitcoin is headed down and the altcoins are melting right behind them, guys. Is this the end of the bull market? Everybody wants to know, is the bull market over? Is Bitcoin ever going to make a new all-time high again, or was 125 the top? Is Ethereum never going to break all-time highs? We're going to be covering all of this and a lot more questions. So make sure you guys get excited, start smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe, and start dropping your questions into the chat, my friends, because we've got a lot to cover here. We've got a lot of questions to answer. We've got a lot of fears and FOMO to put at ease. So let's jump right into it. Let's just go look at the market. As we see, we got a sea of red here, nothing but down, down, down. We go out to the weekly, and a good majority of the market is also down on the week. We go to the monthly, and even the monthly is starting to turn red for a lot of altcoins here. Wait a minute. So let's jump right into Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin today, quick and easy. Man, I wish I would have caught this short, but unfortunately, hindsight is 2020. Bitcoin was just ranging sideways here. Last night, we longed the Bitcoin from this sweep here of this daily MPOC. We had a nice little bounce here of a gold pocket, rode it all the way up to the quarterly VWAP, closed my long. That should have entered my short right there. But nonetheless, throughout the Asia and London trading session, we pretty much went back down to the downside, coming down to this green area of support here, finding support above 114.7 until this morning. When the stock market began to open, we came into an intersection between the trading session downtrend and the previous day uptrend. We got resistance at the weekly VWAP. Price got smushed, lost the weekly, lost the daily, came back, retested the upper band of the trading session downtrend along with the VWAP. Got rejected, and from there we've been melting like it's butter on a hot summer day, and it's just been nothing but down. From 115,300 we came all the way down to 113,500 before having any type of bounce, and since then we've continued to drop lower and lower to as low as 112,700 before bouncing back up to 113. Guys, this 112 is right below us. Technically the previous all-time high, right, at 112.55, which is also, it's not just a previous all-time high. Another significant level for it here is if we zoom out to the 4-hour, this 112 area for Bitcoin is very significant because it was the low. It was the August low. We come over here to the chart. We see on August 2nd, we hit this low. We came down to, we hit on August 2nd, and on the 3rd, we came down to 111,900, and we bounced. And that was the bottom for August before blasting off and slowly but surely grinding all the way up to 124,500. Right, round up 125, and since then we've topped out, and we are coming all the way back to our August lows, meaning we could potentially close the month of August here back at zero, giving up all the gains that we have accumulated throughout the entire month, which is a huge blow to the ego, right? Just massive. I want to catch a falling knife with my soul, baby. Let's go. But we will see here. We will see what is going to happen, right? If Bitcoin does lose this 112, if it loses this low for August, if we lose this area, we do not bounce off this area here, and we start closing dailies below 112, we have targets. The next targets on the line will be between 108 down to 103. We have the yearly VWAP down at 101, and then we start getting real bad below 100. Down to as low as $96,000 as potential targets. Now, that is a long way down from where we are right now. Not saying we're going to 96 tomorrow, not saying 96 is even on the table. But if we start closing below 112, definitely be looking at 108 for sure to potentially 103 for Bitcoin. So those are the targets. Now, if we bounce off this 112, 111 area, we find support here again. Hopefully we bounce back up. We do have a ton of targets to the upside. Don't get me wrong. We have a ton of targets to the upside between 117 to 120. We have a bunch of targets before even reaching the previous and the all-time high of 123 to 124. So we do have a lot of targets to the upside. We're way below the previous week range. We are completely on a downtrend, as you guys can see. We have been doing nothing but making lower highs after we topped out at 124. We created this weekly downtrend, came down, made a lower high, came back up, made another lower high at 118, came down, made another lower high on Monday at 116, came down, came back up at 115, another lower high, and now we're dropping again, potentially having a little push to the upside to make another lower high before maybe continuing to the downside here for Bitcoin. Now, this is obviously affecting all the crypto market. So if we jump on over to the altcoins here, like Ethereum, we can also see that Ethereum is also struggling. So Ethereum has fallen right into its previous day range downtrend here, rotating from up from 43.51 all the way down to as low as 41.18, holding right above this monthly VWAP. But if this monthly VWAP is lost, which is a very good chance of losing it, especially if Bitcoin continues to drop to the downside, we are dropping down to $4,000, which is the major resistance that we broke out of with Ethereum, right? Ethereum had major resistance at $4,000 all of 2024. Could not get above $4,000, constantly being rejected every time we revisited that area. We finally broke above it, and we had not retested it. So that is going to be the ultimate test for Ethereum. If Ethereum comes back down to 4,000 and finds support and bounces, we're golden. But if we lose it, buckle up, boys. We got some big targets on the way down between 3,700 to 3,300 to way lower if things get real bad here for the next month or so. Now, let's jump into the chat real quick. Let me go take a look, see how everyone is doing. I hope you guys are all smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe if you haven't already. I'm seeing a lack of likes here, guys. A lack of likes all around. Make sure you guys are tapping those likes. Let's see here. Back to 102, maybe. If we lose 112, 102 is definitely on the cards. Appreciate everybody smashing the likes over here. Thank you so much. Keep tapping those likes, baby. Drop your questions into the chat if you haven't already. I'll definitely circle back here. We will never see these prices again. Well, Tita, maybe we will. Dutchy, what's going on? Says Crew Hefner. You already know, man. Gotta wear the robe. I gotta wear the robe. It's what keeps me relaxed during these tense situations, right? It's the small feeling of smoothness on the skin that keeps me calm and collected while taking some high risk trades around here. On XRP, we'll take a look at XRP in just a second. Where is XRP headed? Yep, definitely we'll take a look at XRP. We'll circle back here to XRP in just a second. I hope you guys continue to smash those likes. If you have not joined the Crypto Citadel, you guys are missing out. My private trading community. If you guys haven't been in there, definitely do so. We have a new trading course that I just put out about a week and a half ago. This is the last month to get 50% off at the end of after August is over. There is no more 50% off, guys. So get in now while you still can and get 50% off your first month. After this, it's long gone. And, you know, it is what it is. We're doing live trading sessions every morning. We are doing daily trade signals. We are doing daily updates. We are doing long-term macro analysis. We have a trading course. I mean, it can't get any better for what you're paying. It just is what it is. Appreciate everybody in here. So let's go and check out XRP here. Let's go take a look at XRP long-term charts here. Good old XRP. Dun, dun, dun. Let me turn some of these indicators off. Oh, yeah. And private trading indicators that I've made myself as well, you get access to in here. So XRP creating a little bit of a double top here Right, we topped out around 366 back in late July. We came all the way down to the lower band of the the value area low of July's range around 277, 275. We've bounced all the way back up to 335, made a lower high here for XRP from the 366 high, and now we're continuing to dump back down lower again. We're currently at 289. We're still within the July range, which is good, but if we begin to fall out of 278 to about 265, look out for 252 and potentially as low as 215 for targets to the downside for XRP. Something to be very aware of for XRP. Could be some targets, some retest of those lower $2 mark price points again if we continue to pull back here. Bitcoin dominance is also a little bit trying to break out, right? It's trying to get back above 60%. It hasn't been able to do so just yet. Currently still sitting at 59.88. But if it starts to climb above 60 and Bitcoin's price continues to drop, we will see altcoins continue to pull back, and targets for XRP to the downside are between 252, 242 to as low as 215, right? And obviously we don't want to lose the support between 206 to about 195. We lose that, we definitely have some big targets to the downside for XRP. But right now, making lower highs, not great. Still making higher lows for now. So overall, we could still make a recovery here if Bitcoin starts pushing back up. Bitcoin dominance starts dropping. We could see a recovery here for XRP. But if Bitcoin doesn't do this, XRP will continue to feel the pain here in the market. Good day, sir. What's going on? Do you have a good insight on ZBEC, when to buy or target price to buy? So look, guys, I don't hold ZBEC. I traded it a little while ago when there was a lot of hype around it. I was taking some trades on it, but we can take a look at the ZBEC chart here real quick. So a quick little update here on the ZBEC chart. Let's get the previous week range, July 1st all the way to July 31st or July 30, yeah, 31st. All right, so let me get rid of some of these areas here. So, okay. ZBEC broke out of its downtrend that it formed between May and June, right? In July, early August, it rallied all the way up to about 0.006 again, front running our target of 0.0062. We have fallen back into the June range, pretty much rotating that entire range. And now we're sitting right at the value area high for the month of July, right? Of around 0.0041. If we drop below this area and we start falling into the July range, we do have a monthly NPLC down at 0.0033, which is the next big target for ZBEC if ZBEC continues to pull back and falls below 0.0041 and falls into the July range. Now, the July range value area low lines up with a weekly MPLC that's already been tapped around 0.0028. If that area is lost, targets to the downside are still 0.0018 to 0.0011, right? So obviously buying as low as you can. If you're interested in buying this thing, obviously never financial advice, would be a lot better. Another thing to know is we made a high back in May, right? And now we're making a lower high in July, August, potentially pulling us back lower. So I wouldn't be interested in this thing until we potentially rotate the July range down to 0.0028. Around that area, I'll be looking to see if we can find some support. If not, and we continue heading lower, then it is what it is. But I wouldn't be interested in this thing at these levels right now until we start dropping lower, because Bitcoin is dropping lower, right? And the lower Bitcoin goes, everything goes along with it. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes. Appreciate everybody hanging in here. I see some Crypto Citadel members in the chat. Good to see you, Quint Law. Good to see you. A few other ones in here as well. Do you think the peace talk is part of the market dumping? Not really, man. August is one of those months where it's just really not that great of a month, along with September is usually not a great month overall. We come over here for the August returns. Look at this. Since 2022, we usually, August is just pretty much a red month overall. I mean, 2025, we're down negative 2.2% so far. Last August, we were down 8.6%. 2023, we were down 11.29%. In 2022, 13.88%. 21 and 2020 were bullish, were bull market years. They were the only ones that closed the green. Then 2019, 2018, red. 2017, bull market, green. And then every other month is red. So overall, very, very low average for Bitcoin returns on the month of August, right? An average of 1.45%. Median is usually around negative 7.49%. So overall, very negative month for Bitcoin. Another very negative month for Bitcoin is September. September is usually a pretty negative month as well. So I would not be surprised if we get some more downward trend on September. Doesn't mean that we can't have a pushback up towards those 120 areas and then drop even lower again throughout September and still close out September negative. It doesn't mean that just because August and September are negative, there's not going to be any upside in between that time. We can still get a pump back up and a drop back down again throughout the month of September and still close out the month of September in the negative. Now, overall, October, usually a pretty good month for Bitcoin overall, right? Every October since 2024 down to 2013, we have an average of a plus 21%, a median around 21% as well. And then November is pretty green as well all around. Q4 usually is overall pretty green for Bitcoin most of the time, right? Usually pretty strong momentum here for Q4. So I do believe we're still going to get a green Q4 overall for Bitcoin. So a little bit of red August, red September possibly, and then, continue to push into Q4 of 2025 is what I'm expecting here. So let me jump back into the chat here. How low can Bitcoin go? Great question. I just covered that a little while ago. I'll give you the quick recap. The quick recap for Bitcoin is that if Bitcoin loses 112,000, which is the August low and the previous all-time high, right? If we lose that area, we are going to potentially be dropping anywhere between 108 to 103. Those are the big targets to the downside if we lose and start closing dailies below 112. If we continue to hold above 112, very good chance that we continue to push back to the upside and continue ranging above 112 and between 125 or whatever. Maybe we get a new all-time high. Let's see here. How far do you agree Bitcoin bounced 112 to 113, then rejects of 115, 16, goes to 106, full market band? Thank you. No, I definitely think we're going to make another all-time high. I don't think 124.5 was the high. It's a local high right now, but I definitely don't think that's going to be like the total top. So I don't think we're going to have another bounce and then just tank it into the bear market. The backpedaling is crazy. What backpedaling are you talking about, sir? Gosh, the haters love to come out on the red days. They love to come out on the red days. Pin link. Let's see. Let's go take a look at pin link here. Oops. Pin link is down 20.1% on the week, down 7.5% today. Let's go take a look at the chart for pin link. Let this bad boy load in. Yeah, Dusty, we'll take a look at Chainlink next as well. All right, so Chainlink, pretty much a lot of sideways price action here. Broke out in July 11th out of the downtrend that it was in. Came up as high as 96 cents. Came back down to about 65 cents on August 3rd when Bitcoin bottomed out. We pumped back up to $1.03, and now we're back down at 67 cents again. If we lose this 67 cent area, definitely be looking out for a potential drop to, all right, here we go. We have a gold pocket down at 59 cents here for pin link. Anything below that, we could be falling back into this downtrend of 36 cents or lower. Hopefully pin link can hold here, but this double M, little mini double top area, not looking great for pin link. Pin link needs to push above $1.13 to start running for some big targets between 141 to about 172 for pin link. But right now, everything is stagnant. So these low market cap cryptos, it's only $56 million market cap, very low market cap, very high risk, very volatile. Let's see here. Let's go take a look at Chainlink. good old Chainlink. Chainlink still within its uptrend, even with the current pullback here. So Chainlink, we saw the breakout pumped into, didn't fall, but pumped into its July uptrend and started to catch momentum here, running as high as $26.79. Now currently pulling back here once again on the daily, but still holding its uptrend, right? So we can still drop down to about 22.89 and still be within the uptrend for the month of July. Now, if we start falling out and start falling below 21.50 or so, definitely something to be worried about. And then, you know, if that does happen, look out for targets between $20 to about $18 again for Chainlink. But meanwhile, Chainlink holds this uptrend. Could be slow, but if it can hold these areas here and Bitcoin can recover in time, Chainlink should continue moving to the upside between 29 to 34 to, you know, as high as $47 to $52 are the targets to the upside for Chainlink. So far, so good. Let's jump back into the chat. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. Good to see all of you guys in here. Good to see all of you guys tapping those likes, hitting that subscribe. Thesis for now until December, like I said, rest of August could be a little choppy, could be, you know, definitely not great. September, usually not a great month for Bitcoin either. Definitely a lot of sideways chop between ups and downs, but more sideways chop during September. We'll see what the interest rate cut happens, if it happens or it doesn't in September. Could be a catalyst event, maybe not. Could be a big nothing burger, but don't expect September to be this massive bullish month. But I do believe September is going to be the area where we begin to bottom out at some point throughout late August here, you know, early September-ish, you know, mid-September timeframe, and then we can get some sideways slow price action before popping off into Q4. Good entries for what? It really depends on what your risk management is. Crypto Citadel right now, we are looking, if Bitcoin begins to drop below 112, we are going to start looking for some nice low leverage trades from a lot of these altcoins between Sui to BitTensor Tau to Cardano and Ondo, Aerodrome. There's a lot of different altcoins that we're going to be looking at some low leverage longs here if we start to bottom out and start dropping below 112 to start managing those trades and getting ready for Q4 of 2025. What do you think of Ethereum Classic? Ethereum Classic is just what the name suggests. It is a classic. It is an old fork of Ethereum. I don't pay any attention to it. I don't hold it. Now, can you trade it? Absolutely. Does Ethereum Classic have pumps just like some of these other altcoins? Yeah, for sure it does, right? It's up 12.5% on the year, down 15% on the month, down 11% on the week. You know, just doing its thing, bouncing between, you know, $24, $20, went as high as $38. When was this? Back in December of 2024. Since then, it's still, you know, a little bit down. But overall, you can trade it. Definitely a tradable asset, some volatility in it, but not something I'm holding in my portfolio. What range Bitcoin from October to end of the year? Chris Moore, I definitely think that by the end of the year, there's a good chance that Bitcoin makes another all-time high. Is that all-time high going to be 200K? Probably not. Somewhere around, you know, 130 to about 150 is definitely a good range that I believe Bitcoin can hit, right? We break above 124.5, hit somewhere around the 130 to maybe 150 if things can get really parabolic in Q4. And that's where I think Bitcoin could be topping out for this year. That doesn't mean that 2026 is going to be automatically a bearish year. It could continue the rally. We just have to take it month by month, you know, week by week, quarter by quarter, year by year. But I do think there's a good chance of 2026, you know, pushing back up higher than people expect. Targets for Ethereum remain the same, guys. Whoa, my green screen is falling apart here. Targets for Ethereum remain the same. Right now, I am targeting for Ethereum to still make highs between 6 to 8K. 6 to 8K are the targets that I'm looking for. I definitely think Ethereum is going to break all-time highs. It just really going to have to depend on Bitcoin holding on to this, you know, altcoin season that people keep talking about, right? The more it ranges above 112 and holds above 112 and continues to drop Bitcoin dominance, then yes, the better it's going to be for Ethereum. Let's go take a look at Bitcoin dominance here. Bitcoin dominance is up at 59.9%. We came down as low as 59.19 on August 17th. Since then, we've been having a slow recovery to the upside. Bitcoin dominance is still very low compared to what it was literally 2 months ago. We were up at 65 to 66%, right? So if Bitcoin dominance remains this low and Bitcoin's price can just continue to push back up, the altcoins are going to be able to recover here. Now, if Bitcoin dominance starts to climb back above 61% and starts to recover here, then that's going to be no bueno. But meanwhile, Bitcoin dominance continues to make these lower highs and continues to make lower lows. Bitcoin dominance continuing on a decline. We just need Bitcoin's price to continue ranging and recovering above these areas of 112, and altcoins will continue to pop. Do you think XRP hitting 287 last dip? No, there's no such thing as the last dip, guys. Nobody knows when the last dip is officially going to be happening, so don't fall into that trap of this is the last dip. Buy the dip, buy the dip. We can definitely continue dipping. The dip always gets dippier, right? You buy the dip and then it dips, and then it dips, and then another dip, and then some more dip, and then some more dip, and then more dip, right? That's the way it works, so don't fall into that. Definitely XRP can pull back a lot further. If Bitcoin loses 112,000, like I've been saying, targets are between 108 to 103. You really think XRP is not going to drop down to low $2, potentially back into the $1 range once again, tapping some of the higher $1 ranges? Absolutely it can. It absolutely can, right? Look, XRP is the perfect example. The lawsuit is dropped. It's officially free from suppression. But for some reason, it's still not at $10. For some reason, Bitcoin has a slight pullback and XRP drops. What happened to the decoupling? What happened to XRP taking over? What happened to nothing holding back XRP anymore? That XRP doesn't run on Bitcoin's time clock. All of that is gone. Bitcoin pulled back, XRP pulled back. XRP still not making new all-time highs, still struggling to get above 366, still struggling to get above $4. And yet people are calling for $100 XRP. Yet XRP can't make a move without Bitcoin's permission. Just like any other altcoin. Just how it should be and just how it always will be until something changes very drastically in the future. But until then, XRP will continue to act like any altcoin. So if you believe that XRP will not dip, then you believe XRP is going to pump when Bitcoin's not. When Bitcoin is crashing, XRP is going to be pumping, and there's a decoupling. So unless you believe in that decoupling, which there is absolutely no evidence for in the chart at all, I would definitely suggest that there will be more dips. As Bitcoin dips, XRP will continue to dip. Dutchy, 100%, man. I completely agree with you there. I completely agree with you there, bro. My personal analysis or perception is that from the 9th of September, things will be different. I hope you're right, bro. I want nothing but up city, pump town, nothing but pump city all of the rest of the year, bro. I want Bitcoin at 150, at 200, at 300. Let's go. Smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. Dennis back. Thank you for smashing those subscribes and joining the crypto. Well, not joining the Crypto Citadel, but joining the channel here at Blockchain Crusader. But if you definitely want to join the Crypto Citadel, definitely do so. Definitely worth it. You get live trading sessions every morning, trading signals, daily trade setups, long-term macro analysis, exclusive trading indicators, and a 1-hour trading course. What more can you want? Plus an awesome trading community of other traders with you as well in the Crypto Citadel. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Pengu. Well, buy some Pulse Chain core tokens, and I'm not buying any of that. We'll cover Pengu here in just a second. Zoom out. When you see your charts on the monthly, we have made constant all-time highs, even with low. Tito, what asset are you referring to? Bitcoin, XRP, what? Appreciate everybody smashing those likes. Let's go take a look at Pengu here. Meanwhile, we get back into the chat. Let's go take a look at good old Pengu. Pengu. All right, so pudgy penguins, right? Very similar to a lot of other altcoins. We made a high in late July, and now we've made a lower high in August. pushing back down into the July range, which is no bueno. We are losing support here at the 0.031 area. Next target to the downside is 2.5 cents. We do have a gold pocket down at 0.021. If that area does not hold and we continue to drop for Pengu, we do have areas between 0.019 to as low as 0.012 to the downside for Pengu, which is a monthly NPOC, naked point of control for Pengu pudgy penguins. So definitely watch out for that. Keep an eye on those levels as we continue to drop. Pengu is definitely going to be a one that I'm going to be very interested in the Crypto Citadel to manage a low leverage long on if we start revisiting these areas down here, because I do believe Pengu is one of the few meme coins that doesn't really need a meme community behind it, because they've got a massive team that has been doing the whole Pudgy Penguins NFTs. They've got the toy line. They've been doing a lot, and their project is actually sustaining itself, even though when the grand majority of other meme coins are completely in the dumps. Let's see here. I work on news day and night. So far, things headed towards green. Any red is buying opportunity. Let's go, Malik. I hope so, man. I hope so. I want us to go to Pump City tomorrow. Cuban Diesel. Diesel time. Diesel time. What's going on, brother? It says buy the dip. Buy the dip. Make sure you have some extra capital to buy more dips down the line, right? Because that's the biggest problem is you buy the dip, but you got to make sure you're dollar cost averaging properly. Because if you're not dollar cost averaging properly and you're just willy-nilly just throwing money left and right without properly managing your budget, your capital, you're going to run out of capital before the dips run out. That is grand majority of the chances that you will run out of capital before the dips stop and the pumps begin. And then when the pumps begin, are you taking profits? Because if you're not taking profits, when are you going to ever make money, right? So definitely keep all of that in your mind. Let's continue going here to see if we're missing anybody here in the chat. My portfolio is dropping hard. Wouldn't be surprised. Any thoughts on XRP might be up in the bear market? Any thoughts on where XRP might end up in the bear market? Oh, man, I don't know. Bear markets are very extreme. We have to assume a lot of people, the assumption is that in the bear market, Bitcoin will drop anywhere between 50 to 80% again, and the altcoins will drop 80, 90%. XRP will be included in the altcoins. We saw altcoins drop 80 to 90% in Q1 of 2025. Very, very bear market like. All right, but we have recovered since then. Obviously, we haven't made new all-time highs, but we have recovered since then. If we continue to drop here, we go full bear market mode. XRP could definitely drop down into the $1, less than $2 dropping. We have targets all the way between $1.70 something cents to as low as like 90 something cents again. We have lots of targets to the downside. So XRP could be rotating all those targets to the downside. Any thoughts on how much of a pullback during a bear market? Absolutely no real idea on how low we can go, because like I just finished saying, right, we're assuming that the bear markets will be the same as they were in the past for Bitcoin, but they might not be, right? The markets have changed drastically. Bitcoin has matured drastically here with all the institutional demand for it, right? Hitting a $2.26 trillion market cap. Yes, we could have pullbacks. Yes, Bitcoin could come back down into the low 90s, maybe the high 80s, right? But I think the days of the bear markets of Bitcoin dropping 80+%, 60 to 80+% is potentially over. 40% drops, I think, are more likely for bear market times, like how Bitcoin did when it dropped from like 109 down to like 76. It was around like 30-something%, almost 40% drop, and then it recovered. I think that's more likely for Bitcoin, and that could affect how much the altcoins. I still think the altcoins could be dropping 80-90% like they did in Q1, because they did it in Q1. But no absolute idea of like concrete, like I can make any guarantees, guys, right? We don't have a crystal ball here. We don't know what's going to happen for sure. We can only just analyze the charts week by week, month by month, quarter by quarter, year by year. So Appreciate everybody in here. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes. Let's continue going through the chat. Why is the market down? Bitcoin topped out, man. Bitcoin topped out. It hit an all-time high of 124.5, created a nice downward trend for the last week, and we are following that downtrend all the way down to the August lows of 112 and see if we retest that area and hold support. Did you see Epic Chain tokenized something trillion instead? I'm like, nope, didn't see any about that. If Bitcoin goes to 80, I'm buying 2. Let's go, man. Let's go. You can never have too much Bitcoin. You can never have too much Bitcoin. How high can Avalanche go from here? Guys, Avalanche has not been performing. It has not been performing at all, right? AVAX has a lot of things happening for it, technology-wise, community-wise, layer 1-wise, but for whatever reason, it just can't really pump. But targets, right? We're currently at $22. Targets, once we can get above $30, is between $36 to $51. Those are the local targets that I think are very realistic for the end of this year for a big altcoin season. Now, if we can actually go parabolic with AVAX and Avalanche can have a real massive breakout, right? We have legacy targets from back in 2021 between $71 to $141, which is the all-time high for AVAX. We have a range of targets between those areas. So if we can break above $60+ and start holding and start having a parabolic breakout for AVAX, we have targets anywhere between 71 to 141. But are we going to reach those levels? I don't know, man. AVAX has been disappointing me. I'm very bullish. I hold a large amount of AVAX, but it is just not performing, man. It is just not performing. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes. Appreciate everybody in here. If you guys are not in the Crypto Citadel already, my private trading community, definitely do so and join. You get an hour-long trading course from beginners to complete, understanding of my trading strategy. Daily trade signals, live trading session with me in the Discord. You get daily the exclusive indicators, and you get long-term macro analysis plus one other thing. I forget what the other thing is. Appreciate all of you guys smashing those likes. There's always some BS news that helps it crash, probably, but I haven't seen any news about any crash just yet, justifying a crash here. All those XRP kids, they buy the quarterly pump and then only to get dumped on by Ripple in the same week. You said it, not me, Dutchie. You said it, not me, man. 100% agree. 100% agree, right? Everybody, literally somebody was like, did you guys know that Ripple is the largest treasury company? Yeah, because they've been holding their own token and dumping on their holders for years. And they're making money so that they can acquire more companies and then go public and launch an IPO in the stock market off of your back. And your XRP token can barely pump even with the lawsuit being dropped. Oh man. I'm talking about bear market almost every cycle. What do you mean by that, Zach? Sui got listed on Robinhood. Yeah, I did hear about that. That's good. Sui is doing pretty well, holding up here, with the state of the market here, down 10.6% on the week. Let's go take a look at Sui's chart here real quick. Sui, where are you at? Yeah, Sui, a little bit of a double top scenario here. Still in its uptrend from Q2, right? Look at this nice clear uptrend for Q2. Dropping now down to 346. We have fallen out of the July range. Targets to the downside if we continue dropping are 380 to 304 if we continue dropping lower here, maybe as low as 292. We do not want to be dropping below 292. We lose that and we have a target all the way down to $2.20, and that's going to suck. That's going to break the uptrend. That's going to be horrendous. We can drop all the way down to 292 and still be holding the uptrend and bounce, and that would be fantastic for a low leverage trade that we're going to be managing in the Crypto Citadel. So if you want to be part of that, definitely do so and join. Definitely do so and join. Greatly appreciate everybody in here hanging out, smashing those likes. I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody in the chat. So where do you see Sui? I just answered that. Targets to the downside are 318 to 392 to continue holding the uptrend and potentially bouncing off of that. If we lose 292, next big target is 220, which is not good, which breaks the uptrend, which could be very bad for Sui. And overall, our main target to the upside remains the same, $4.81. $4.81 is the main target to the upside. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. I see you guys. I see some Crypto Citadel members in the house here in the chat. Appreciate you guys hanging out and showing some support. If you guys aren't already part of the Crypto Citadel, definitely do so and join. You guys are missing out on daily trade signals, daily live trading sessions, daily updates, long-term macro analysis, exclusive trading indicators, and my trading course as well. So you get all of that wrapped up in one great trading community. And we're going to be giving away some rewards to some of our traders in there as well here pretty soon, which is going to be fantastic. Sorry, I just joined and only caught the end of our comment about XRP. What are your thoughts? What was I talking about when it came to XRP? I was saying something about, how XRP, the Ripple company is the largest treasury company because they've been hoarding Ripple, XRP, for years and dumping on their holders and making money off their holders' back to then go acquire more companies and then launch an IPO and make more money for themselves. Meanwhile, the XRP token can barely pump. And now that even the lawsuit is over, it still can't pump and it's still just following Bitcoin. Yet all these XRP content creators out there that are XRP only, you guys know who they are. I'm not dropping any names. I'm friends with one or two of them, but you guys know XRP is just a bunch of fugazi. Everything they say is a bunch of BS. It just is. It just is. None of it is true. They're always changing the goalpost. Something new is always happening. The switch is about to get flipped any minute now for the last 8 years. And even with the lawsuit now over, XRP still can't pump. But they'll have some type of excuse on how it's not XRP or Ripple's fault. You're going to short scalp if we close below 112. If we close below 112 for Bitcoin, I'm not really. It depends. It depends. I haven't truly decided yet if I'm just gonna start looking into those low leverage longs and start dollar cost averaging into my low leverage longs below 112, or if I'm gonna be looking for shorts. If I'm gonna be looking for shorts, they're gonna be on Bitcoin and Ethereum mostly, and they're definitely gonna be scalps, like you said. So definitely the only way to find out and to be aware with that is in the Crypto Citadel. If you're in there, you'll definitely be knowing what I'm doing there every single day. Even so, it still has made major gains this last year. Okay. XRP has made good gains this year. Fantastic. People have been holding this thing for 8 years and it just pumped for the first time ever in 8 years. Since 2017, from that $3 top back in 2017, this is the first time it pumps and it gets back to $3 in 8 years. And for 8 years, XRP content creators have been talking about the flip of the switch and about how it's going to go to $50,000. There's going to be a buyback from $50,000, $10,000. What was it, $986 or what was this? What was the $589? It's going to go to $589. It's going to go to $100. They're always changing the goalposts. It's a bunch of fugazi. Yes, it had a pump this year. Congratulations. Finally, after literally 9 years of fugazi promises and Ripple dumping on everybody. I used to be an XRP holder. Then I realized people are just promoting it to benefit Ripple and big whales. Dude, 100%. The only reason why there's content creators that only talk about Ripple and XRP is because for some reason, XRP is a cult. For whatever reason, when you type XRP into any social media platform, it has a bunch of views and it will get you a bunch of views. Whenever my views are low, I go and make an XRP video talking about its price action, and it will always get views because it has a cult behind it. That is why some of those XRP creators are so successful, because they have lived off BSing everybody for years. Why? Because a lot of people that follow XRP are people that still believe in the traditional finance system of the banks, and they are in support of the banks, and they want to point the banks to win. Even though the banks have been crushing them their entire lives, they want to continue supporting the banks, and they want to feel like an insider and get in on the cool guys club. And you're going to be one of us. You're going to be an elite if you hold XRP. And that is the dream that they sell. And it's all Fugazi. One with nature says, I got an XRP last year, but yeah, poop coin. Yeah, got in a good time, I can tell you that. But everyone else that's been holding for 8+ years, man, they have been struggling. What exchange do you use to short the market? I currently use different platforms. Not allowed to talk about it here on 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗫, so I can't really say, but I am partnering up with a new one here that's going to be getting a lot of benefits for Crypto Citadel members, getting them lower fees, higher deposit bonuses, and a lot of more rewards. And we're going to be doing a little bit of a trading competition to get them some more rewards as well. So, yeah. No, baby Ethereum, there's only one Ethereum. If you have to put any other name in front of Ethereum, it's a fake Ethereum. Please stay away from it, guys. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Appreciate all you guys smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. I'm Blockchain Crusader. I hope all of you guys are joining the Crypto Citadel, my private trading community. Even though you're not a trader, you can definitely still join. You'll get the full trading course to help you understand all the analysis, help you to start charting before you can start trading, and we'll still get you all the long-term macro analysis that happens every month, every quarter, every year, right? We are putting long-term macro analysis there for the people that are non-traders. And obviously, if you want to start trading, that's the place to be, with the course, with the daily trade signals, with the live trading sessions, giving you guys a lot of guidance and mentorship on how to get started. So if you guys definitely want to join, that's the place to be at. If you haven't been there already, definitely go check it out. Guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys. I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day, and I'll see you in the Crypto Citadel. See ya.